There's a protest movement spreading across social media and city halls, calling itself, hands off, their targets: Donald Trump, Elon Musk, the Department of Government Efficiency. They claim to be defending democracy, but in reality, they're fighting against the very reforms a majority of Americans actually support: a leaner, more efficient, less bloated government. And the numbers don't lie. The hands-off protesters are loud, but they're out of step with mainstream America. The message is simple, at least on the surface: hands off our institutions. Hands off federal employees. Hands off the administrative state. They argue that efforts to downsize government or reorganize federal agencies are attacks on democracy. That challenging bureaucracy is authoritarian. That leaders like Trump and reform programs like D.O.G.E are dismantling public trust. But for many Americans, it's not trust that's being dismantled. It's waste. It's inefficiency. It's decades of government expansion without meaningful results. According to the latest Rasmussen poll, April 2025, Donald Trump's approval rating is at 51%, a majority. And he's not running on growing government. He's running on shrinking it. Public support for streamlining Washington is even stronger when you look beyond the headlines. A 2024 Gallup poll showed that 67% of Americans believe the federal government is too large and doing too much. A Heritage Foundation study found that over 70% of voters support auditing or consolidating redundant federal programs. And over half of Americans support the mission of D.O.G.E, especially when it's framed around eliminating waste, not expanding control. So while hands-off protesters chant slogans, the data shows a quiet majority that's ready for a government that works smarter, not just bigger. The Department of Government Efficiency, D.O.G.E, was created to do one thing: make government less wasteful and more accountable. It reviews duplicative departments, recommends budget cuts, and holds agencies to measurable standards. That's not authoritarian. That's basic stewardship, and it's what most Americans expect from their leaders. Yet hands-off protesters claim D.O.G.E is a tool for political persecution. They say it's dismantling the state, but ask the average voter, and they're more likely to say, good. It's about time. The problem isn't protest. It's that the protesters are missing the moment. While they rally to protect institutional sprawl and shield underperforming agencies from reform, everyday Americans are working harder to pay more in taxes, dealing with slow or broken public services, watching federal spending spiral with little to show for it. So when protesters scream, hands off, what millions hear is, leave the waste alone. And that's not a winning message. Trump isn't the only face of this movement. Elon Musk, too, has tapped into the frustration. He's pushed for faster innovation with fewer regulatory hurdles. He's publicly questioned federal overreach, high taxes, and bureaucratic drag, and built some of the world's most valuable companies outside the traditional system. You can disagree with their styles, but the results are clear. Millions of Americans believe reform is overdue. And they're tired of seeing accountability rebranded as extremism. The hands-off movement says it's defending democracy. But most Americans see something else: a defense of inertia, inefficiency, and the status quo. The protests may make headlines, but public opinion is leaning toward leaders who aren't afraid to cut, consolidate, and clean house. Because in 2025, the new political middle isn't asking for more government, it's asking for better government. And for the first time in a long time, there's a movement ready to deliver it. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe to You Are Here for more 5-minute or less explainers on the forces shaping our world. Because to understand the future, you have to know where you are.